Welcome back. It's New Comic Book Day. I'm not ashamed to tell you that today is Labor Day, and I'm here working. There's a couple of reasons. It just makes it easier for me. But also, I'm doing this for you, and I don't mean that as I'm not yelling at you. I want to be sure you know where my motivations lie. August just finished up yesterday was my biggest month to date, on the cusp of 9 years in business, and you give me my best month ever, comfortably my best month, and it was a milestone amount. We're not going to talk about dollars, but I have to thank you immensely for letting me do this and for letting me continue to do this, because I can't do it without you. And that, of course, leads us into a reminder that next weekend is the anniversary sale, 9th anniversary. Again, nothing without you. Big sale. I've got raffles to support me walking in the Philadelphia Hydrocephalus Association's Walk to End Hydrocephalus. I need you to help me help them, but also come celebrate with me, because this is as much your victory as it is mine. And thank you. And there will be a second round of raffles after this coming weekend, leading up to the walk weekend. So there's big things happening. I'll post more about those. Don't worry about it for now. Let's go look at some new comics. And there's a lot. There's some that are catching up from damages or shortages on previous weeks. And there's just some crazy good stuff. So let's take a look. Adventure Time. This is a collection of Adventure Time from the previous series. Just, story threads and that kind of thing. And then a new regular issue of the current Adventure Time series. Aquamanatee, just your normal everyday manatee, and then he gets special powers, and now he hangs out with Aquaman. It's a cute little hardcover book for the kiddos. Avengers, Return of the Marvel Zombies, part of DC's finest line, Batman Red Skies. I want to say this is around Batman 400 or so. Early 80s, mid 80s, something in that range. Just a big collection of sort of related stories from a time and place. And then a facsimile edition of Batman 635, which is big red hood territory. And there's a shiny cover, of course, of the original cover. This is the star of the week for me. I cannot wait to read this. It better not suck, or I'm going to be so sad. A new Batman #1. There have only been 4 Batman #1s, including this one, so it is a big deal. Matt Fraction writing. There are a bunch of covers, of course. I have more copies than what are here. They just wouldn't have sat on the shelf very well, so I wanted to fit it out. There's a shiny of the main cover. That is a 1 in 25, so that'll be marked up. That's a 1 in 10 or something like that. That'll be marked up. And then there are Blind as a Bat, which is adorable, bagged covers, the randomized covers inside. I'm going to limit those probably to 1 apiece, but we'll see what happens. And then a new edition of Batman Arkham Asylum, part of DC's Compact Comics series. Immortal Legend Batman actually came out on a previous week, but they only shipped some of the covers, not all of the covers, to everybody. It's wild. Foil. Basically, Power Rangers and Batman in space in the future. Whatever. Borderlands, Moxie's Mysterious Memento. That collects the recent miniseries. Black Cat was from another week, of course. Damages and such. I want to say I'm still missing a cover, but by this point, it's just time to get them out. And a shiny. And you know about Marvel shinies. Bring on the Bad Guys, Dormammu. And 3 covers. Again, that was from a previous week. And then to wrap it up, Bring on the Bad Guys, Mephisto. 2 covers. 3 covers. Sam Wilson, Captain America, Better Angels. This collects the recent miniseries. Captain Planet and the Planeteers. The Cartoonists Club, a new graphic novel from Raina Telgemeier of Smile and Ghosts and Sisters fame, and Scott McCloud, Understanding Comics. This is an interesting combination. I'm very curious about how that works out. Two different audiences that probably don't have a whole lot of overlap, but two excellent creators. So Cheetah in Cheshire, Rob the Justice League continues. Savage Sword of Conan. Daredevil Epic Collection to Dare the Devil. This is mostly Frank Miller stuff, so that's a good collection to look forward to. Doctor Strange number 450. Of course, we've jumped to the legacy numbering so we can have a 450, and there's two covers there. It's just treated like an anniversary issue. There will be a new Doctor Strange number 1 coming. Flash Gordon. Geiger, again from a previous week. Ghostbusters Dead Man's Chest. G.I. Joe, Real American Hero. Absolute Green Lantern. Lots of talk about the Absolutes lately. Two covers there. I mean, there's been lots of talk about the Absolutes for, a year. Harley Quinn. Two covers. Three covers. That's it. Okay. Hero Bear and the Kid. This is a graphic novel from like 25 years ago. Struggled to stay in print for a long time. Mike Kunkel is doing something connected to Local Comic Shop Day, which is another event in September that I'm participating in. So we got the original stuff back in print. That's just a fun, I believe it was an homage to his father, if I'm not mistaken, but it's been so long now. Sisterhood, of course, that's a Hyde Street miniseries. Invincible Volume 11. People are still talking about Invincible. Iron Man, Demon in a Bottle. That's a new printing of that pivotal Iron Man story from decades ago. Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong 2 continues, and there's two covers there. And then JSA. You all know that JSA stands for Justice Society, and that's why I have Justice League and then Justice Society. Sometimes I have to just, prove it. Magic Treehouse, Midnight on the Moon. Magic continues, and apparently will continue beyond the 10-ish issues that the X-Men miniseries seem to be having these days. Monster High House Hunters. Moon Knight Fist of Khonshu. Pizza Witch, new graphic novel from Sarah Graley. Poison Ivy. And two covers there. Power Fantasy Volume 2, that collects recent issues from that series. Rocket Fellers. Sonic the Hedgehog. We're finally catching up with some different things that we're missing for a while. Spider-Man 94. This is sort of the same vein as X-Men 97. This connects to, the Spider-Man animated series from that time. And I've got several covers. And there is another cover and maybe two covers for Local Comic Shop Day. I'm not 100% sure. Amazing Spider-Man. Spider-Man Deadpool Epic Collection. I think this is just volume 2 of that run. Star Trek Red Shirts. Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Seeds of Salvation. That's a new miniseries for Strange New Worlds. And then this is kind of a big deal. Star Trek Voyager Homecoming. This series happens right after the end of the television series. And they come home, things look comfortable, and then, of course, there's a crisis. Because it's Star Trek. Why not? Legacy of Vader. And two covers there. New Star Wars miniseries, Han Solo, Hunt for the Falcon. Two covers. Three covers. Four covers. Adventures of Superman, Book of L. This is a 12-issue series, I believe, which continues the Book of L stuff from 2 years ago, something like that. Same writer, so just continues. I'm not sure why we left it go for so long. Absolute Superman. And two covers there. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Two covers there. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder. Needs his own series, of course. Teen Titans Go, Thundercats Lost, Thundercats Powerpuff Girls, 2 covers there. Transformers 19, this is a second printing for number 19, and 2 covers. And second printing for number 20, and 2 covers. And a second printing for 21, and 2 covers. Tron Download is a bunch of Marvel comics, again, obviously connected to the Tron stuff, mostly written by Peter David, so that's a fun collection to have. All New Venom, now that everybody knows that it's MJ. Walking Dead Deluxe, Wolverine, Ultimate Wolverine Volume 1, The Winter Soldier, that collects the first run of that title. Exceptional X-Men, that's a damage replacement from a previous week. Ultimate X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, and Zootopia, and that collects the recent miniseries, I believe. And then we have extra things. It's been a while. Hawkman Omnibus, Jeff Johns stuff. There's also some James Robinson in there. That's a nice thing. Actually, you know what? Because we do it this way. There's the back cover, too. So many things. The Nom Omnibus, I guess it could be Nomnibus, which is a different kind of thing. I shouldn't be making jokes. This covers the years from that series, covering 1966 to 1969. If you didn't know, Marvel published the Nom in the late 80s into the 90s. A very respectful and a little more true than it needed to be comic about the Vietnam experience. And it was stunningly good. It was something I read beside G.I. Joe, which of course is a soap opera, and this was a little more real. But it looks like a comic, it reads like a comic, but it still has not so nice things in it. This is one I wanted for my collection. I know I never buy omnibuses. So big surprise there. Robotech Archives. This is a box set of the 3 volumes of the Macross Saga that Titan has recently put out the past couple years. So it's just a nice box set with all 3 of those in it. And then Wonder Woman by John Byrne. And this is just a collection of, I want to say, let's cheat. Right after Wonder Woman 100 of the post-crisis series. Again, John Byrne's work is generally pretty good. So this is a nice collection too. Those are mostly special orders. And then a new poster. If you didn't know, there's a Punisher Red Band series coming up. See, it's right there. It says explicit content. We, of course, raise an eyebrow whenever we see Red Band because it's not really as bloody as they seem to make it out to be. But in theory, this would be a good book to have that's a little nastier, if you will. So first Punisher poster in a long time. So now we have a Punisher poster. And that is everything. Again, thank you again for doing what you do so I can do what I do. This is a bunch of fun for me, even when it's not fun. I pretty much love this. So, thank you. If you see something you like, let me know. I'll try and get it for you. Subscribers, do your best, especially the ones that need to catch up. And thanks for watching. Hope to see you soon.